Most parents will do anything to make sure their children have a great life. But what if your baby is born with a brain injury and the doctors say there's not much they can do? One single father here in Montreal decided that that was not good enough for him, so he found an alternative, oxygen therapy. The hard part is trying to get the medical system to take it seriously. Tonight, a special report about his little daughter, Ava Rose. Here's Tara Schwartz.
This is the story of little Ava Rose, a 2-year-old girl who's teaching her father about the power of love.
She's a pure display of strength, and she's bringing value to my life and to the value to the lives of others around her.
It's a life that struggled into the world. Ava Rose was born with severe brain trauma and cerebral palsy. The doctors said her quality of life would be negligible.
As a parent, when you're faced with that type of reality, you can either do two things, and the first being you can either sit down and accept it and feel sorry for yourself and cry over what's going to happen in the life you're going to have, or you can pick yourself up and try and see if there's anything to do about it.
Hey, princess, here we go.
Richard Cote chose to do something. He scoured the internet looking for options and ideas. That's when he found Claudine Lanois and her fierce passion for an alternative therapy.
I've spent my life, the last 11 years, dedicated to hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
In the arms of her great-uncle, Ava Rose enters this chamber dozens of times a year. The chamber itself has been around for centuries, widely known for treating scuba divers with the bends. Basically pressure combined with pure oxygen. But Claudine believes its uses are vast, including treating children with brain injuries.
By adding hyperbaric oxygen, we're actually able to grow new blood vessels into this area. We're able to reduce the swelling and regain some of what that individual has lost and repair some of the brain damage.
She began smiling. She began turning her head in the direction that she wasn't able to turn to before. Now she's starting to say a few words. She's waving. She's acknowledging people. And she's shown great improvements. And this is from a baby that they told us at the hospital wouldn't have any sort of quality of life.
Claudine's knowledge comes from her own painful past. In 1994, she gave birth to twins, both diagnosed with brain trauma and cerebral palsy. Doctors gave her the same options they gave Richard Cote.
What was being offered was occupational therapy, physical therapy, and the waiting lists for this were very long for early intervention. And I couldn't sit by and just wait.
Claudine began researching, discovering that some countries such as Russia and China were successfully using hyperbaric oxygen therapy to treat brain injuries, but no one in Canada would take her seriously.
I tried even military bases out west. I tried military bases out in Nova Scotia. Nobody would treat them.
So she changed the course of her life, becoming a certified hyperbaric chamber technician, and in 2004 opening one of only 2 clinics in the province. She even inspired Dr. Pierre Marois, a specialist at Saint-Justin Hospital.
I've not seen a single treatment so far who helped so many children with cerebral palsy.
Dr. Marois was so impressed by what he saw. In 1998, he conducted the first tests in the world studying the effects of hyperbaric oxygen therapy on children with cerebral palsy.
The 3 studies we did here in Quebec all showed tremendous improvement, more than with any treatment already covered by the healthcare in Quebec for children with cerebral palsy.
Despite such glowing reviews, hyperbaric oxygen therapy isn't covered by Medicare. Not in Quebec, not in any province in Canada. The government says there's not enough evidence that it works, but most believe it's a question of cost. It's expensive, upwards of $10,000 per child per year.
I think it may have everything to do with money.
So hundreds of Quebec families seeking this treatment pay from their own pockets, believing it's worth every penny.
It means the world to me, even though I get a little piece of paper that has a scribble on it, that it's my daughter that was able to do that.
I won't stop until we have these chambers in the hospitals that we can treat premature babies at the very first sign of lack of oxygen. Because if we did that, Ava, my children, the little baby you see behind me, we wouldn't be living the lives that we're living now.
When we look at her today, she's smiling, she's laughing, she's pointing, she's communicating, she's starting to eat with her mouth, solid food. So somewhere along our journey, we did something right.
Together, every step of the way. Tara Schwartz, CTV News.